What is happening, guys? Fallen from OTB here, coming in with an impromptu video here today. I have been sick and I wasn't going to do a video, and as we get into the weekend, the kids are always around, so we're going to try and get this one done here today. I am so ill-prepared here that we are just going to start at the top, and we're going to do a few attacks here today of our most recent war, a perfect war. Absolutely excellent job. We've had a nice run here lately. Let's get started. So we have New coming in with his classic specialty, the Hybrid Super Miner. And right here, we're starting that king across the bottom. Apologies here, my throat has been terrible, and I can already tell it's getting bad. Just from my, from working today, I can tell. So we are starting that queen up top here, and king is working all the way around. It's going to eventually find its way. I'm guessing that the plan was for the king to get into this compartment, and I think he ends up going around. So we kind of, we just kind of ad-lib it as we go. We just go with the flow and figure out what makes sense. That yak did not want to do its job. So king pops ability. We're going to start banging on the walls here, and we're going to take out everything here behind those walls. Queen's going to be able to deal with the CC without issue. So that is fantastic. And then we're going to start that hybrid. I'm going to take a guess. Yep, right over here. So Queen's going to be able to wander. However, she is up against a single target Inferno. We'll see how that story ends when she finally does end up catching up. Fortunately, she's still out of view, so that's good as the miners are coming in with those hogs. Everything's going to be pushing forward here through the poison. Lots of updates to HP on the hogs, and the miners are always still pretty healthy, so they are able to make it through the poisons here pretty well without issue. We are pushing into that compartment where... Is that our rage? No, I think that's the... Nope, that is the... That's the rage of the defense. We're pushing in. We're going to get that TH kill. No extra damage. We are going to have to move around some of those defenses. Hogs are coming in the bottom. Nice place for those to come in here. So that's kind of nice how that works. And the Royal Champ is still just kind of moving along with things. So those hogs took care of that bottom compartment. We're into that single target Inferno area right there. A little bit scary. Queen's going to go and tell her what's going on. RC's going to end up carrying the rest of this, couple of those defenses down there. We got that cannon out of the way. RC does go down, however... We're still good enough to take care of those big defenses. Queen still has her ability. We are going to be using that here. With very little health. So this is a close one here. Always gotta love a good close attack. Awesome job on the miners as usual. Queen is going to outlast right here. That's crazy. Okay. So we pulled it together. We got the win on base number 1. And we're just taking it from the top here, guys. I did no review on these attacks. So, awesome job, New. Hybrid, it's yours, buddy. Pat, this guy, always hitting the top 3 guy, and always coming out on top. So, I actually did watch this attack. So, I like how this attack happened, if I'm remembering here. So, we got this kill squad on the bottom with the CC barracks. The barracks with the update is really nice because 2 P.E.K.K.A.s come out of there. He's got a 3rd P.E.K.K.A. We got the pathing has been made there just fine. And the E-Titan, couple of those Yetis to help on that kill squad. And then over here simultaneously, so things are pushing forward on the bottom. And this is where you see the success. You've got a couple different fronts working for you at one time. We're kind of forcing those defenses to be overwhelmed. And that's what we're able to do with Root Riders. The Queen did decide to back up that area over there. Whether or not you decide to run the RC behind the hero compartment at the beginning, or if you run RC behind those the Root Riders, then you've got yourself a good time. It all is great support as everything sort of kind of mingles together here at the very end. We are going to be taking some damage from that Town Hall, however... Look at this. Things are still very, very healthy. Queen's still working around the outside, No issues whatsoever right there. We are slowing down significantly there in the core, but we do have a freeze to hang on to for that final area if we do need it. Root Riders are really going slow through that poison, but obviously still isn't enough to stop that. Royal Champ is going to go down here shortly. Royal Champ, you've done your job. A very nice job there. Queen still has the ability, and we have a freeze again for that last compartment if we do need it. But other than that, there's still so many Root Riders alive. It's pretty crazy to keep up with, actually. And they're going to open the wall here open things up even more to allow the Queen to get in there and get everything sniped. Awesome job there, Pat. Very good. Okay, that's a dead base number 2. Pardon me if I end up skipping anyone. Stu, is this your first attack? We're doing it. First attack on YouTube, Stu. I'm sorry if there was one previously. Stu is an excellent new addition to the team. He has taken, it looks like he's taken a page out of Pat's book and setting up a nice opening there for that Root Rider team to come in here from the top, busting through those walls. We've got lots of Velks to back them up. I do love running Velks with the Root Riders. That's kind of one of my new favorite things, even to the point of if I have a separate kill squad, I'm still dedicating a good 5 or so Velks to help kind of chunk away on those defenses. Makes things a little bit easier for the Root Riders moving forward. And they're kind of nice and quick too, so they can kind of fill in all those gaps. Look at all this damage being done at the same time right here as we get into there. King is getting beat on pretty hard from that monolith right there. We did pop the ability. King is going to be popping his ability, and now we're doing much reduced damage to the King. Of course, he's invulnerable. Things moving forward. I love the Overgrowth spell for that reason exactly. I'm sorry I didn't call that out right away. That's a smart decision. It allows the pathing to go much better, and it takes away any defenses that are sideswiping. So that allowed the Queen to get completely past that whole compartment where she would have maybe killed 1 or 2 of those defenses and then died. She was now able to move forward with the main group. And, keep in mind, things do kind of die down right here. It really does kind of come down there at the end. Queen does have her ability here still, but these, some of these bases are pretty tough. This is quite pretty close to max base. Are those Teslas maxed? I forgot. I forgot what max Teslas look like. I think they are maxed, but so that's really cool to see that this attack is really working. All variations of the attack is working. There is a constant, never-ending struggle and battle to determine if Root Riders are so overpowered, even post-nerf, deleting a third of their HP. I know we talk about this in every video, but why not talk about this in every video? Because this has been such a huge part of the major part of success in this game. Whether you like it or not, it is a Root Rider world right now, and that's where we're living. So I think it's cool. I like Root Riders. If you are deciding to mix it up and use different variations of them, I hate to see 100% across the board for every type of Root Rider attack, which we're witnessing here. Master T, I want to blame you for this because it kind of started with you, buddy. This is how it's going right now. So this is the Log Roller variation. So there's just, what I like to see is if it's going to be Root Riders, at least we're seeing different types of strategies working. Almost to a fault, it's almost like every strategy is working, but I swear it's a little bit more complicated than that. That Log Roller is going to get forward there. I love the use of the Log Roller. They did make that better. Was it more HP? A little more damage, I think. So that's good. It's making it a little bit farther than it needs to, so that's cool to have that. Troops are splitting off to each side here, so and again, I love the Root Rider's use of the Overgrowth spell is really nice because that allows you to set up your pathing a lot better. There are a lot of attacks that you could use the Overgrowth on. It doesn't have to be Root Riders. Just so happens to work pretty well that way. So we do have one last freeze, which I imagine we're probably going to use on that back end there. There we go. We missed the Warden. That's okay. But they're just so strong. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be more videos. It's so hard to tell. Our Root Rider is just extremely overpowered. I'm afraid I might know the answer to that question, but they have been working well. And as we were talking to the other guys within the clan about this issue over Discord or over whatever, we all agree, yes, they're extremely strong. They're really the success of most of it. But is everyone experiencing that? We have noticed that a lot of the clans we go up against aren't necessarily doing much better. I mean, maybe they're a little bit better, but still, if you're not putting in that time to get your pathing and your fundamentals down, you're going to run into that problem. I'm just trying to do one attack from everyone here, so I'm sorry if it's good or bad or whatever. So again, we talk about the variations. So this is what I like doing. This is kind of my old classic option. Setting up a few super barbs to set pathing. So in my mind, they're cheaper than the baby dragon. They're cheaper than Velks. They do a really good job kind of chipping away. So I love this attack, and so I'm going to be continuing to use variations of this attack, maybe with an overgrowth as well in this situation. But setting up a separate kill squad with nice wall breaker there, setting up kill squads with your heroes, so getting full utilization of the heroes and making them as strong as possible so they can take out everything up to that eagle and hopefully a little bit beyond. And then we're starting with the warden and then the baby warden up there as well to sort of assist. And then I love that the ground device that's going through and stunning each of those defenses there. So that's working really well. We go with a pocket heal with them. So we pop the ability here now early, and then we're going to drop the other heal in that last little quadrant of the base right there. And then we follow it up with the Royal Champ, which will kind of come in between where the heroes are. So the Royal Champ goes and snipes all those middle defenses. We use the haste on the Royal Champ for equipment. So look what the RC is going to be able to do right here. Boom, we're going to chunk every question we ever had about that portion of the base. Even after being hit by the Headhunter, that did slow things down a little bit. But those are those last kind of lingering defenses that you're going to wonder, oh, is this going to, be able to make it all the way? I think this attack might have ended with just the king and maybe a couple Root Riders, something like that. So it did kind of get down there, but we made it through this base, and that's kind of what is mattering here. Again, love to have the Velks running alongside right there. Things working well here. So with those last couple Root Riders, that actually makes things work really perfectly because they're going to be able to open those walls for those leftover defenses. That's going to work just fine. King is going to take his time getting there too, even though those Root Riders are going to die. We're kind of opening the area if possible. Oh, it looks like it was just missed. So King's going to have to get in there, do it himself, and he does. So, again, I'm not showing the strongest attacks here, guys. As you can see, they do kind of dwindle down. They kind of get down. Zega, here we go. We'll do a couple more. This is, again, just kind of a fun vid here today. There's no real intention of doing anything too special. It just might have been the only opportunity I've had. So we have a little combo with the witches as well. Root Riders coming in. We got the log launcher, going to take out a lot of those heavy defenses along the way. I also love when the log launcher helps in taking out the CC troops. That's really cool. You see a lot of ground troops in the CC. It does a lot of damage on them. So smaller troops like that get absolutely tripped up and they go flying way up in the air. It's always fun to watch. So kind of an interesting base. We're seeing a lot more centralized town hall bases. In my opinion, is not very strong for Root Riders. So I think the best way to counter Root Riders will be those centralized town hall bases. Sometimes there's just not much you can do. But other than that, we got everything going through there. Queen's broken off on her own. So it is nice to see The heroes might start there together, but eventually they work their way into their own corners. And because heroes are so strong, that's something else we talk about so much. We're in that era of heroes being so extremely strong as well that if used correctly, you could bring any kind of composition to a base, I feel like, as long as you use your heroes correctly. So that's another thing that, might be considered more detrimental to the game, having such super strong heroes, where like it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that everything you're bringing is super important. But I do kind of want to rest on the decision that, first of all, the space died in it seemed like a 45 seconds. You just want to be able to focus on using the heroes correctly and finding the right composition for that. So, pack out another one. Rhino, let's hit a Rhino here. Another centralized town hall base, more Root Riders. We got a Zapquake though, so that's kind of cool. We're in that never-ending position. Oh, we got rid of the Eagle. Bravo. Eagle definitely does wreck them because they clump together so much. So I'm interested to see how this worked. And because I do not have success using Root Riders. Here we have the siege barracks there. So we got a nice little line of things moving forward. Heroes coming up here behind. That's really cool. I'm always interested in watching central town hall bases because they are a significant weakness of mine. I do not know how to handle them very well at all. We did have to pop that earlier ability right there. Of course, in a perfect world, we want to use that somewhere around the core. But I'm really interested to see how they're going to be able to find their way into the core here. If they're going to go all the way around, or what exactly is going to happen. With those ice golems, oh, it's because the king is there. King with those other Root Riders working their way around. Fortunately, that Zapquake helped set up a good pathing for them to get to the core. Now under a rage, things are looking beautiful in there. It's going to be scary for a second because, of course, with that poison, everything slows down. Root Riders definitely are countered with those slows and things like that the rages will have. But, that's just how it goes. Things are moving forward still pretty nicely. We have those troops around the outside, which something tells me it's going to kind of come down to them a little bit here. I'm glad I'm showing these videos without any idea, because it is showing a lot of very close attacks, and how you need to kind of be able to change some things if needed to have success in these attacks, because if they kind of come down to it, no base is absolutely wrecked when you're dealing with these higher end bases and these top bases. I had an idea it was going to come down to those Titans walking around the outside, and that's pretty much the case here. They're kind of helping tank things. So that works. That's why, I never use E-Titans in my attacks, and that really goes to show that, they have their use and their purpose. So it's cool to see this. We're going to go fast here. Gotta get a little water, because the throat is hurting and it's game night tonight, so I gotta get going pretty shortly here. Ant, I always like a good ant attack, and I might look for Equinox because he's always got fun attacks. We got more Root Riders, so we're learning what's working, and we're definitely we're doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down on these attacks that are working. Again, you can't do it unless it's done right, though. So, are we going to come at the town hall here then? That's my biggest question. Looks like we have a nice little setup here. Got a Root Rider leading on each side. P.E.K.K.A to go off that side. We're going to be heading right at the town hall here, it appears, and there we are. Drop those down. Again, I do love the Velks. A really cool little addition to these style of attacks. Velks are really strong, and I'm glad that they're getting the use that they deserve. That overgrowth spell most likely is going to go up in the middle. Oh no! Oh no, that's bad. That's really bad. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't make that call back. They're going over the middle, over the core. Everything is looking good. I might have to call back if she calls again, so we'll see how that goes. If she finds out what I'm doing, I'm in big trouble, boys. Not trying to get in trouble here. It's a Friday. So yeah, we covered up that back base. Really, I think in this case is trying to protect those troops and make them go down the right path that they need to go. We have that heal there to assist as well, because as soon as this goes down, things are going to start getting weird. So those Velks, everything's working fine around the outside. And we're going to go forward. And again, this is going to be an attack that kind of comes close. Royal Champ, look at that. Haste, everything destroyed under that haste. And just in case, we have that Invis, which is a really nice touch. If with an Invis on the RC, that makes the RC untouchable for up to, almost 10 to 15 seconds between, invisibility, then you use the spell, and then the invis again with the Fox. So that's, going to be a good 15 seconds or so of time that RC just bangs away. RC just shreds. So that is a success right there. This base is going down. We'll do one more attack after this, and then I think we'll call it there. Excellent job, Ant. You've done it, sir. You've done it. Where are we at? Drum. Shoe. Equinox. That's right. He's been working with super witches, right? Yes. So I want to show super witches so we can get a different kind of attack in this video. Sorry, Drum. I skipped over you. Maybe we'll come back if we can. You definitely deserve a good showing. So Equinox has been working with these witches, and this is really cool because the okay, so we're using the Rage Gem with the Invulnerability, which is a good touch. I also do like using the Poison Lizard. Not even necessarily for hero kills, but just kind of to assist with those defenses. There aren't many good options. I'd say that the Owl is probably the best option now that you got the 5 extra levels out of the Owl. Probably is upgrading though for him. So soon as the Warden takes out this air defense here, I'm going to guess that we're going to proceed with the push. Here we go. We got the witches down. Now, as I'm told and as I understand, this Rage Gem is going to do fantastic for an attack like this. When you have some big chunky things that don't necessarily need to be healed, and the skeletons already do a lot of damage, so it's just really the speed is kind of their issue, but we don't need healing on them. We really just want damage so we can make sure things move forward. Here's the part that I suck at on this, because I feel like I have to dedicate a second jump in this scenario, and this ended up working okay because King busted through, and maybe that's something to consider, is how the King busts through the wall. And there we have a good jump leading to the last portion here. You will see things start to kind of fizzle out a little bit, or kind of slow down a tiny bit once we get right next to the town hall. But that's because of the poison. But look at the amount of health though. Everything has stayed healthy, and these healers are assisting so much. The witches are super tanky because of the new level. So there's a lot of huge benefits that are happening right here. And then we have that CC Super Drag coming around the outside, killing 2 of the most important defenses left next to the Town Hall. And then these witches still, they do some pretty good damage with their auto attacks. But most impressively, they are super tanky. They could take a beating. So they're going to end up being healed entirely by the healers right here. So even though things slow down a little bit, sometimes the the big skeleton guys will die, and then it'll be a little while until they get spawned again. RC using that epic haste. You can tell how much I love the haste. So that's phenomenal. That's a really cool attack. Equinox always finding a way to use different types of troops. So that's always nice. 4 super witches get it done right there. Very lastly, let's do drum. Let's do drum. Centralized base. Kind of a little bit of a combo of things right here. Essentially, though, it's same idea. Root Riders, Root Riders with the support of the E-Titans. Starting them off on each side. Nice push forward. So you're going to be able to take out a lot of defenses with that log roller. So it does set up some things for success a lot easier. Plus we got those outside defenses taken out of the way. Those defenses do lead to core here pretty well. You will probably see a split after that after the eagle goes down, but that's okay, because typically in the core, all you need is maybe a hero with whatever comes out of that log roller, and everything's about to maybe take a trip here unless they are going through that poison. So the CC is going down. All of that damage coming in from the log roller was able to just completely cripple the town hall and that area. We do have those single target infernos. Things do get a little bit scary in there. But we've done the job that we need to do for that. Other than that, everything else is going to push around. Queen's going to end up taking out that other single target. We really have the monolith and single target left as going to be the scariest part. RC worked all the way around the outside. Queen's going to go down here in just a second. However, King is not going down without a fight right here. King is just tanking that thing, and they bust right through there. Those last few troops are working their way around the outside. With support of the Royal Champ, is going to do a really good job making sure they clean up all those outside defenses that the other troops aren't able to get to. Once King goes down, King will be able to tank all those defenses for many more seconds. And is just living on the edge of death here as we speak. But that just goes to show how strong the King is, really. And the RC just cleaned up everything. So everything was able to tank. We're moving forward. We're looking good. And everything goes really well right there. And we just have to get all the way around the base to the other side to kill those other defenses. Typically you see E-Titans doing that, but they were busy. They had a lot going on. So centralized town hall bases are dying to Root Riders. It's just kind of how you use them. The rolling, the log roller, that's where you're seeing your success a lot of the times, getting to that core and allowing some things to open up in there. So really, really good job. This has been a decent video. Not great, but, you know, whatever. We'll come in here with another one, hopefully when I'm doing a little bit better here, guys. Other than that, this is Fallen from OTB, signing off, and a happy weekend.